Okay, welcome to our 2024 SEO product recap. We have an amazing team here with you today. Einat, Paz, our SEO product people are here. So you're talking directly to the brains behind the SEO product, which is super amazing and super nice that they're here for us today. Of course, Crystal, our head of SEO communications, the one, the only, is here. And me, who's looking for breakfast options. Okay, so on the agenda today, so first off, yes, this webinar is being recorded. If you signed up for the webinar, which you are because you're here, you'll get an email with the recording. It'll be on the SEO Hub. Make sure you check out the SEO Hub, check out our newsletter, Searchlight, and our podcast, and all the other stuff we do. And it's new, our daily SEO news series, Monday through Thursday, with the godfather of SEO himself, Barry Schwartz. Okay, I'm done plugging. Sorry. Markers are going to market after breakfast. We're also going to have a Q&A session. So ask questions, not in the chat. Chat is for breakfast options. The Q&A box is where we ask the questions that we'll take towards the end of the webinar. Okay, on the actual agenda. So we're going to do the 2024 product recap. We're going to talk what's coming next, a little sneak peek for you. And as I mentioned, then we'll go ahead and do the Q&A, which means it's time to hand it off to our lovely product folk.
Thank you, Morty. Hi, so I'm Einat. I'm the head of product of SEO in Wix. And I'm super excited to be here and do another annual recap, telling you about all the new product releases in 2024. So let's start with something very helpful that we released in the beginning of the year. Is the bulk alt text with AI. It's the option to create alt text in bulk and using AI. It's available right now in the SEO setup checklist, and you can find it also in the assistant panels, in bookings, online programs, and portfolio, and it will roll out soon to all different page type. So let's look how it looks. If you click here, add alt text, you will see the text that already exists. And if you click on generate alt text with AI, it will generate alt text to all your images of the page. Once it's done, you can go over it. You can change it if you want to. Click apply, and that's it. You're done. You've made the alt text to all your images on the page. Another things that we did throughout the year is adding new structured data markups to different page types. So we have the image structured data for bookings, online programs, forum, and groups. We added a site name structured data markup to the homepage. We have the course carousel for online programs and soon for booking courses. We have the forum discussions and video structured data, which is a new one, and it's rolling up, and you will see it very soon in a lot of page types. Another thing to talk about is the site hierarchy. It was released last year in the end of 2023, but I want to talk about it because it's an important feature that I want to touch base on this again, and because it was expanded to a lot of other places. So the site hierarchy is actually the option to set a parent and a child relationship between the editor pages, meaning you can set a hierarchy between different pages of your site. The hierarchy that you will set will be reflected in the URL, and we will automatically redirect all the URLs according to all the changes that you did. So we got you covered and no damage will be done in terms of SEO. So it's available in Classic Editor, and now it's available also in Studio and in Edit by Page. In the Business Manager, you can do the same also here.
I love this feature. I think it's great. Just jumping in.
It is. Another thing that we put an effort this year is the multilingual aspect in general. So the first thing that we released is a multilingual sitemap. For multilingual users, if you have a site with different languages, you will have it automatically out of the box. It will create your multilingual sitemap per each language that you have, and it's updated automatically. So every time when you add a language, you add a page, you delete a page, the sitemap will be automatically updated. And I'm heading this off to Paz.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paz, the Product Manager at Wix SEO team. I'm happy to be here. So now I want to talk a little bit about the SEO Assistant panel. So the SEO Assistant panel helps you improve a page for SEO by showing you what to do next. Once you choose a focus keyword, it updates the list of the tasks for optimize the page. Up until now, it was available in blog, and now we also have it in bookings, products, online program, and portfolio. So we can see here in the video that we have the assistant panel for blog, and you can add the focus keyword on a specific posts. Once you click on add, it will see all the tasks according to the focus keyword that you've added. Cool. Now I want to talk a little bit about SEO settings. So SEO setting is act as a one-stop shop for managing all page type on a site. Once you choose a specific type, you will see a custom default, and also for many of the page type, you can also see the edit by page. So here we can see the custom default and the edit by page. Great. So the edit by page table lets you view all the page under a specific page type. It's a great place to review your URL slug, to set multiple tags together, and to see the index status of the pages. So this year we focus on empowering the edit by page tool. So what we did is, from a static table, created an interactive table with a lot of options. So also we now have inline editing that you can edit the tags without opening the panel at all. We added a focus keyword column to help you refine title and description according to the focus keyword. And also you have the option to generate a title and description using AI. So we will see a short video here of how it looks like. So now we have the interactive table that opens in inline editing. You can add the focus keyword here, and also you have the title and description that you want to change according to the focus keyword with an option to generate with AI. Cool. So another thing that we did in the edit by page is adding a filter and column management option. So now you can customize the view according to filter on a specific criteria and control which column you want to display and which order to help you focus on what is more important for you. So I want to show you guys a little bit numbers of how the change that we did affect the usage. So we can see here a graph of entering the SEO settings and to see how many of you changed within which tool, if it's the inline editing, the panel, or the default. We can see here a big spike in the increase of entering the SEO setting. This is because we added a new entry point, and we can see that once we open the new feature of the edit by page, most of you guys use the inline editing, which is truly amazing to see the engagement with the product and made us really, really happy. This is like the most important thing for us. So it's really great. Now I want to talk a little bit of expansion that we did with the SEO settings. So we also have now the edit by page for several verticals. We have it for blog categories, restaurants menu, portfolio, and bookings. And for those page type, we also have the option to bulk edit, which I can set a default configuration or change the index status of the pages. So this is a new vertical that we added here. Cool. Another thing that we did is adding more verticals and page types to the SEO settings. So we have the restaurants menu and also member author profile. I want to focus for a second on the members author profile. Up until now, members profile page was one general for all. And now we've added for members, there are also author, their pages will be automatically indexed and they have structured data out of the box, making it more SEO friendly for them. So this is also a new integration. Cool. Another thing in the SEO settings, under the default, we have a new vertical using the URL structure. So the URL structure enables you to edit the structure of the URL according to what you like. You can also flatten it. Also, once you change the URL slug, it will automatically create redirects for you. It was available in blog posts and products, and now it's also available in online program and very soon in bookings. Amazing. So this was the update on the SEO setting, and now I want to tell you on a new feature that we released this year, which is Bulk Connect for large-scale clients. Clients with thousands of sites up until now needed to go side by side to connect it, and we've created a new tool to connect multiple sites together, helping users with save both time and effort to connect to Google. I should mention that it's open only for enterprise user at the moment, but we wanted to share it with you. So the main key features of this product is overview of all managed sites and see the connection status of each site, the ability to bulk connect multiple sites together and reconnect disconnected sites. Great.
Okay, so
Krista.
Hi, so I'm just jumping in, and thank you so much. We've had some great comments in the comments about all of these great new features. I know that things about some of the dynamic pages and all of the new features on the SEO settings are just fantastic on the edit by page. I just love to see it. So on behalf of everyone, well done to the product team for all of those things. Also, jumping in, just to say apps. So there are various different apps around the Wix ecosystem for Wix and Wix Studio websites. And in the last year, we've seen apps from SE Ranking and Wincher and Rankix come out, and all of those have to do with keywords. So I saw someone who was saying, how can we know about keyword volume? SE Ranking now joins SEMrush as one of the, and Wincher now joins SEMrush as some of the tools that you can use to identify your keyword search volume, your keyword difficulty, and Rankix helps you sort of monitor where you're doing with that work there. There's also some information on AdSense. So AdSense also released an update to their app, which allows you to monetize your Wix blog if you're doing that. And we also have the Zapier integration, which allows you to get the most out of sort of Wix automations and allows you to do more with your full marketing funnel with your website. So you can go onto Zapier and you can find different parts of your Wix Studio website, and you can connect it up with Zapier integrations. And if you want to check out, if we go to the next slide.
I just want to add something regarding SEO Ranking and Wincher. They are not only apps, they are also integrated as part of the product. So you can find them in the SEO setup checklist or in the assistant panels, and you can do your own research per page within the product.
Yes, absolutely. And if you'd like to know more about some of these, we have some great articles on the Wix Studio SEO Learning Hub, where we get into some of that. So you can see the AdSense article, you can see an article all about the SE Ranking app from Morty Oberstein, and I've got an article about the Zapier integration there as well. And then we have a podcast for our Startup SEO podcast, which talks to the team from Wincher as well. So there's some great resources on the SEO Learning Hub to help you to learn more about apps, but it's also worth checking them out as Einat was saying, in your SEO setup checklist, in the assistant, and also in the app market.
Thank you, Crystal. So I want to talk to you about accessibility. I know you know us as SEOs, but recently we took over also the accessibility products of Wix. So there's a lot of things in common between SEO and accessibility, and I wanted to show you like a sneak peek of what we're doing in accessibility, because I'm sure it will be beneficial for a lot of you. So first of all, why is this accessibility is important in general? Let's first, is it inclusivity? 20% of the world population has some kind of a disabilities, and you want to make your website accessible for everyone. And there's also legal compliance. In many countries, there are laws and regulation that you need to follow in order to have an accessible website. And if we're speaking already on regulation, so something that is very important to know is the European Accessibility Act that is coming on pretty soon in June 2025, where every website that is based in Europe or is serving customer in Europe will have to be compliant with the accessibility rules. So I think it's relevant for a lot of you partners and website owners. So what we did, I'm sure some of you may probably know the accessibility wizard that we had in Classic Editor. It was missing in Studio, so we added it now to the Studio. It was really released this month, I think. And the accessibility wizard helps you detect accessibility issues on your site and fix them right on the spot. So it's new in Studio, and it's offered an improved experience and new capabilities that you didn't have in the former one in Classic Editor. What it allows you is to scan your site, figure out what issues you have in each page, identifies the issues and per page and per breakpoint. So if you have, let's say, for example, an image in the mobile view that is missing an alt, it will show you and it will take you right there and you can fix it immediately. All the rules in the wizard is based on WCAG 2.2 level AA requirements. WCAG is kind of like the Bible of accessibility, so we are following that.
And I also just want to shout out to the product team for being ranked as the most accessible CMS by the Web Almanac this year for a lot of the work that they've done across the accessibility wizard. And it's great to see this coming to Wix Studio as well.
Thank you. So I want to show you a bit about the accessibility wizard, how it works. You can find it here in this little site checker icon, and you can have these fixed accessibility issues. You can also find it in the tools of the studio. So once you click on this, you scan your site. It will go over all your pages and all your breakpoint and will show you the issues that you have. If it's in red, you can go over. I'm missing an alt text here. I can set an image to be decorative if I don't want an alt text. And I can set the alt text right from here, which is very helpful. You don't need to go image by image. It's all in one place and you can fix everything. So this is the accessibility wizard. One thing that is important to notice, it has two tabs. Well, the first one is detected issues that I showed you right now. It's something that we can identify automatically and help you fix. But accessibility is a wide range of things that you need to take care and take under consideration. There's a lot of things that cannot be detected automatically. For example, if you use the color to emphasize something positive, it's not accessible, but you need to pay attention to it. So in the second tab, there's the manual task, and it actually guides you to all the other things that you need to take into consideration when you're building an accessible website. And the last thing that I want to talk about, and it's important for accessibility, but also for SEO and also for performance, is the DOM order. The DOM order is the order of elements that appears in the code. It's a bit technical, but bear with me because for the one that is relevant, I want to explain you what's going on and how you can work with this. So the visual order of the elements on your website must match the order of the code. When the DOM order is arranged, it determines what users see first when they're using assistive technologies like screen readers. And it also determines how search engine will read and understand your page. So if the order is wrong, it can confuse the user and make your site harder to use and not accessible. Let's see an example. If I have this page and I added this amazing image, and then I added the title for it. So if I look at a page, I will read first the title and then the image, and I will assume that the DOM order, the code will be arranged exactly the same. First the title and then the image. But actually what sometimes happens in Studio is that it's not always like this. A lot of time it's arranged by chronological order, meaning that if I edit first the image, then the image will be first, and then the headings, which is not good, of course, and this is not something that you want. So the solution for it. First of all, Studio released really recently the auto DOM order. For every new site starting from November, it's on by default and it's arranged and you don't need to take care about anything. Also, if you add new sections, they are already arranged. The problem here is that it's not arranged retroactively. So if you had an old site before November, it's not arranged. So what we did is we solved it with the accessibility wizard. The first time you will open the accessibility wizard, you will see this kind of checkbox that allowing us to arrange your DOM order also retroactively. Once you scan the site, it will arrange all your DOM order, and then it can scan your site in the right way. And solve the issues for you. It's a one-time thing that you need to do, and then you're set. And you have here, since it's very technical, you have here all the documentation and explanation about everything regarding this. Last thing about accessibility is also you can find it in the business manager. So you have in the website overview page, you have the accessibility monitoring widget, which show you, it's also scanning your site and letting you know if you have issues on your site, and you can go and fix them in the editor. Also, you have in the website overview also a SEO entry point that also scan your site and shows you issues on your site from the SEO point of view.
Thank you so much, Einat and Paz. There's so much going on. And I think I'm really excited about seeing the accessibility wizard in Wix Studio. It's been such a great part of Wix Classic. And I think that the DOM order element is going to be really, really good. Because yeah, the DOM order on Wix Studio is great. So having that tool is fantastic. Speaking of Wix Studio, there have been lots of different developments across Wix Studio in the last few months, across the year, that have impact on SEO. So I just wanted to highlight a few of those to folks who might have missed it or not. So a few I wanted to talk to you about were the visual sitemap, the Figma to Wix Studio, and the expanded CMS offerings. So the visual sitemap, if you can click play there. So the visual sitemap is something that's just been released in the last sort of month or so. And what it does is it allows you to see and set your site architecture. It's AI powered, so you can use it to help you generate a sitemap if you're building a website, and it will help you sort of lay out wireframes and things like that. But it also lets you manage your sections. So when you click on it, you can see all of the different sections across your website. You can also move around the sections. So if you say, actually, I don't want the form at the bottom, I want the form at the top, you can move the form from the bottom to the top, or wherever you need to move it. You can nest things where you need to nest them, and you can also share and export your visual sitemap, which is a great tool. I know as an SEO and as an account manager for our clients, I've definitely paid for tools that do this. So it's great that we've included this in the Wix Studio CMS. Next one. Another one I'd like to talk about. I've spoken to loads of agency teams across the world about Wix Studio and all of the different awesome things that it does. One of our favorite things that we also announced this year, again, if you haven't tried it out, it's really great. It's the Figma to Wix Studio integration. So essentially, what it allows you to do, if you press play for me there. It allows you to go into Figma, set your design, and then you export your frame, and it goes into Wix, and they put everything into Wix, and they put all of the different elements in there, and into Wix Studio. They put all of the different elements in there, and you can sort of get going on that. From an SEO point of view, from a site growth point of view, one of the things that it can help you do is that it can help you streamline your design process. So if you're working with a designer that's using Figma, then you can sort of make comments on things as you go along before you export it to the website. You can also manage your hierarchy there. So and on the design file, so you can say, I need to move this, I need to move that. You can adjust the copy headers. So if you want to make your H1s, your H2s, you can do that in the design file, and it will export, the hierarchy of those headers into your Wix Studio account. You can also manage your breakpoints. So Einat was talking about DOM order. When we're thinking about a DOM for a page, you can manage where you're going to break up the website on the web page, and you can manage those in the design on your Figma. And you can also think about dependencies. So when you're thinking about layering things and layering images, sometimes if a designer gives you a page, it's hard to see what they've put underneath it. But it can sometimes be easier to see that on a Figma. So that could be really useful. It can be great for helping you to manage performance. I saw someone in the comments mentioning about site speed and things like that. And it can also be helpful for managing UX, which can help you to get great results for SEO. Next one. And then also people who are using dynamic pages, we have expanded the offering for content in the CMS. If you press play for me there. So we've increased the quota from for CMS items from to 20,000 items in the Plus plan and up to 500,000 items in the Elite plan. So that means that if you are somebody who uses dynamic pages, you can use them even more in the next little while, which is great for helping you grow your audience and helping you grow your website. And now I'm going to hand over to Morty to talk
SEO
to you
course.
about our SEO course.
Super excited about this. So, can't remember, it was the end of October, end of September, we launched. I'm terrible with time, by the way. It's all one giant month for me. We launched the SEO course. It is 11 industry-leading SEOs running through all the areas of SEO, from technical SEO to keyword research, to on-page, off-page SEO, which is also known as link building, analytics, how to use SEO tools, reporting, and how to implement on the Wix side also. It's an entirely free course. We're not even asking for your email. You can check it out on the Wix Studio SEO Learning Hub and the actual where the landing pages, and it'll take you over to the Wix Studio Academy where you can take the course. People have been asking, oh, what about this certification? Is it going to be available? At the end of each course section, you can take a little test, and there's a I'll call it a completion certificate that you get at the end of each of the module. So yes, if you could take, let's say, the technical SEO module with Aleta Solis, at the end you'll be able to take a test. If you pass it, then you'll be able to download a completion diploma certificate. I'm not sure what to call it. So yes, that is there. I know there's been a bunch of questions about it. It's an amazing course. And I'm not saying because I was part of it. I'm telling you, like, I've seen a gazillion SEO courses. Some of them are better than other ones. The production value is amazing. The amount of thought and effort that went into this. I want to give a big shout out to our team for doing this. Natalie in specific, if you're watching this, thank you very much. Please check out the SEO course. There's been a lot of questions about learning more about SEO. This is a great way to learn SEO in an organized, methodical way. That's what I'm going to say about the SEO course.
I also want to say, Morty and I both did the Wix SEO, Wix Studio integrations and implementation part of the course. So there's lots and lots of hands-on elements there, and we deliberately, Morty, absolutely made it sure that it was accessible to people of all levels of skill and interest and all of that.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about a course is that if you didn't understand something, you can go back, look at it again. There's resources attached to each module, so you can, like, okay, I didn't understand that. There are resources there to help you if you didn't get the point. So it's a really great asset for you. Okay, on to I guess we're heading back to the product side. What's next?
Cool. Hey again. So we plan to focus a little bit on sites with the multiple languages. So the first thing that we plan to do is for sites that has the multilingual app and has several languages on their site to enable the freedom to choose a slug under a specific language, making it more consistent and user-friendly, and you can align the language with the slug of a site. Another thing that we plan to do for the multilingual side is redirect per language. So also for sites that with the multilingual app, you can very soon will be able to redirect to specific language. Also, when you change a slug under a specific page type, language type, sorry, it will create an auto redirect for you under the language. This ensures that users are directed to the correct language of the live site. So very, very exciting. And another big thing that we are working on is AI. So we plan to do a lot of new capabilities using AI. And features in the AI assistant to create ways to save you time and effort, more integration with Wix Studio and Accessibility Wizard. So all I want to say is stay tuned. It will be very, very cool.
Thank you both so much. And thank you so much to the product team for being fantastic over this year and continuing to iterate and make products that people know and love even better. So well done there. And again, kudos for being ranked the top CMS for accessibility. And on the Web Almanac also came in 100 on the SEO score. Very nice. And that's like flipping her hair. Very nice.
Oh, I got fireworks going on now. Check that out.
It's great. So yeah, and I've had a few people ask, and we said it at the beginning, but we'll say it again. Yes, you will get the recording. It will be sent to you via email. It'll be sent to you via email. We'll also send you a copy of the deck with the information so that you can see this. Yes, yes, DC, I see you just jumped in. Yes, absolutely, you will get the recording. You're welcome, everyone. Okay, and so now we're going to go to our Q&A. We've had lots of folks asking questions. So we're going to get into the Q&A. Morty, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, there's a ton of questions. I'm going to start with this one because it's a little bit of a misconception. So let's clear this myth up. Someone asked, yeah, myth busting is one of my favorite things besides breakfast recipes. Are there any plans to increase the number of different web pages to more than 100? And I've seen this question before. The answer is you already can. The 100 refers to static pages, which a website almost never needs more than 100 static pages. You have unlimited number of quote unquote dynamic pages. So blog pages, product pages, custom dynamic pages, build to your heart's content. I hope that clears the air.
Yeah, lots and lots of pages.
Many, many pages. Okay. This is a good one because actually going to be covered in our newsletter Searchlight next month in January. That's how far in advance I plan. Anyway, it's a Wix Designer update on my website in July 2024. I know it takes time for a new website to get traction, but there are other things I can do in the interim to speed up the process. So let's handle like the general question. If I just did a redesign, what are some things I might need to consider when thinking about SEO? And again, if you're interested in this question, keep an eye out for Searchlight in the beginning of January. Studio Hawk, which is a fantastic SEO agency, is doing a little write about what they did for a redesign on a Wix Studio site. But I'll hand this off to the group. Redesign of a website. What are some SEO things you should be considering?
I'll jump in. First of all, one of the things, even if you're keeping the same URLs, one of the things that I find people always miss is the number of links that are on each page. So very often, if you change your design, you will change the number of links and possibly even the number of keywords or information that's on, let's say, your homepage. I've seen it before where I've had clients who had a web page and it used to have a sort of bank of their latest blogs. They changed their web page so that it was cleaner and didn't have any of these sorts of things, and then suddenly their blogs weren't getting indexed. Well, it's very important that you have links from the pages that are indexed into the pages that are new and that are being discovered and all of that sort of stuff. So even if you're doing a design, it's worth checking how many links you have on a page, and then making sure that you still have the same amount of links on that page if you want to keep that traffic. It's also worth thinking about any of the URLs that you've got around, especially if you're changing any part of your URLs. This is why Einat and Paz's team have spent so much time on auto redirects, bulk redirects, group redirects, so that you can do path management, so that you can change your slugs and things like that. That's super, super, super important. And it's also worth monitoring your performance across Google Search Console, which is also in your Wix Studio account, so that you can see if anything's changing and if you need to make any amendments.
And also make sure to use the accessibility wizard. If you're doing a redesign, time to check out the accessibility.
Absolutely.
Little plug for you there. Okay, let's go on to, softball question for Einat and Paz. You ready? Are there any AI options in Wix or Wix Studio for SEO? Go.
Yes. Yes. You already have the AI for creating title tags and meta descriptions. You have AI for alt text, and soon you will have AI for a lot more than that.
Oh.
Stay tuned, like Pat said.
By the way, I personally love the AI meta tag writer because one of my pet peeves as an SEO is writing meta descriptions. I just don't enjoy it, and I just let the AI do it and read it and check it, and it's good to go. So
Yeah.
And
thank
also,
you.
by the
Thank you.
way, a blog has AI as well. So if you're creating blog posts, you can generate the H1 with the AI, and you can generate the content itself. Make sure you go over the content and edit by yourself as well, but you can do it very easily.
Yeah, and I think that it's great that because the way that we have it built in is that, you put in the keyword and that provides the source for the AI to sort of work through. It's not going blank, it's not flying blind. It's not just writing something that doesn't make sense. They spent a lot of time building that out. We've got a great article on the AI meta descriptions on the Wix SEO or Wix Studio Learning Hub. So go and check that out.
Speaking of the Wix Studio SEO Learning Hub, someone asked for people who are completely new to adding SEO into their Wix mix. I just made up that rhyme myself. Wix mix. I can't believe I never thought of that before. Yeah, it's only taken 4 years. Where do you start learning, and how do you do it quickly? Ooh, that's a loaded question. I'm going to say, first off, start off on the Wix Studio SEO Learning Hub, self-promotion, but for real. One of my big recommendations when learning SEO, we have a whole podcast episode on the SERP podcast about how to learn SEO. So check that episode out. But one of the way I'll tell you how I learned SEO, or how when I first got into the whole thing, was following the news each and every day. And what I would do is I would go to seroundtable.com and I read all the news that Barry Schwartz covers there, and I would Google like what I didn't understand and yada, yada, yada. And speaking of yada, 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 we actually have Barry Schwartz of SEO Roundtable on the Wix Studio SEO Learning Hub each and every day, besides Friday and the weekends, where we cover the news every day. It's like a 10-minute video. Watch that. Keep up with that. It's called It's New. It's right there on the Wix Studio SEO Learning Hub. You see my face, Crystal face, Barry's face, and Greg Finn's face. It's right there. I always found that keeping up with the industry and seeing where it's going, what people are talking about, what items of SEO people are concerned with was a great way to start learning SEO. And we have it for you right on the hub.
It's great. And I think also I'm a big learn by doing kind of person. So one of the things that's great is that if you're a learn by doing kind of person, Wix Studio is great for you because the team have built in a lot of fail safes. So you can get in, you can try your structured data. If you can't quite get it right, you can always go back to the default and you're fine. If you want to edit your robots.txt, you want to have a go at that. If you go a little bit funny, you can just go back to default and they'll help you out with that as well. If you know, you can set your defaults in your edit by setting or edit by page. And you can use the defaults that they have there, but if you want to change it, you can try that. And again, if you go a little bit wrong, you can go back to a good default. And all of those things. So we have a lot of tools that enable you to learn by doing and to get stuck in without putting your site at risk, if that makes sense. So you can learn, you can grow, you can try new things, but we got you covered.
Amazing. So next question, and this is for the directly for the product team. If we're moving platforms, so we're going from classic Wix to Wix Studio, what happens to it? There's been a few questions about this. I'll try to summarize them all in one. What happens to our SEO?
Yeah. So we are right now working on a tool that this is something that will come up, but I cannot give an ETA that will help you import and export your SEO data. So if you're moving, you need to kind of like build it all again. So a lot of platforms, if you're moving from different platform, a lot of them have an export option, then you can do it. Or you can, if they don't have export, you can use external tools that will scan your site and will extract all your SEO data, and then you need to import it back to Wix and work with that.
And I think it's important to remember that a lot of the things are built in anyway. So if you had a custom build site and you moved to another version of the custom build site, you'd have to take out all the schema markup, for instance, and then you'd have to manually put it back in another way. But if you have a blog on Wix and then you move it to Wix Studio, then all of the blog you can port them over, and all of the metadata and all of the schema markup will fill in the same way as it was previously. Same with your products. You have products and you move them from a Wix site into a Wix Studio, then all of the optimizations that we have built into your products will be there as well. You will need to make note of some of your more custom pages. If you've got like a particular page that's like your lead gen page that you've like put a lot of updates into yourself, then you'll have to make sure that you're reviewing those. But again, like for instance, if you're using Wix Velo, If you're using Velo at all, you can copy and paste your Velo code into your new platform, and then you just have to make sure that you've got all of the variables named in the correct manner. But it's fairly straightforward. And again, if you're using the Wix Studio to Figma integration, then if you're going from a design, it's going to make it even quicker.
Amazing. Next question. There's been a few questions about this. What site audit tools are available inside of Wix? Or do I have to use a third-party platform?
So we have
So,
our
I don't know.
own site audit
Yeah.
tool. The SEO, it's called the SEO Assistant. It's in the SEO home, the dashboard, and it kind of goes over all your web pages and shows you the issues that you have. I showed it in one of the slides. So it scans your site all the time and highlight if you have any issues, help you solve it immediately and on the spot. So you have that, and you also have the SEO Assistant panel, which is not a site audit, but it's kind of also will highlight if you have issues on a certain page, and you can fix it also in the same place.
Yeah, and don't forget the site inspection dashboard. So if you want to see if all of your URLs are being indexed by Google and if they qualify for a rich result or not, if you connect to Google, we pull in the Google Search Console URL inspection API. You click a button and everything gets inspected across the site, which is super cool. It's one of my favorite tools.
Super useful. Saves you a lot of time.
Tons of time. It's amazing. Literally. Okay, question about automation. I'll just combine a few questions here. There's been a lot of talking about what you can do manually to customize like SEO meta tags, yada, yada, yada. What is there inside of the platform that's automated to help me do things faster? Again, like I'm just throwing these softball questions
So many
out.
things. So I think
I
about,
know.
like,
Where do you want to
I
start?
Like,
Start with structured data.
that's my favorite. I love that.
I know.
So if you use Wix Video on your Wix Studio site or your Wix Classic site, then it pulls through lots of video meta tags, not just from the things that you upload, but you can do it also from YouTube. So it pulls through the meta tags from YouTube and pulls them into your structured data. So it will pull through like how long the video is and what the title is and what the tags are for it and all of that sort of stuff, which means you don't have to. And then it means that page is optimized for video schema markup. When you upload products, they have product schema, and they have product schema they have schema for the images as well, the blogs, the events. There's lots of things. What else am I missing?
The members author that we just released.
Yes, the members author, that one as well. So there's tons of different page types that are already optimized with rich results ready, structured data markup. And if you need more information on that, we've got blog articles on the Wix Studio SEO Hub, which talk about rich results. They talk about structured data. They talk about how to validate it, and all of that.
There's a ton. Like
Oh,
I mean, auto redirects.
Auto
You're talking about auto redirects. That's just amazing.
I think last year there was hundreds of thousands of auto redirects that we had completed. I don't know how many more you've seen this year.
We should have pulled the numbers on that. Yeah, it's an amazing number. So if you're like on one of your main pages, let's say your about page, you change your about page from like mysite.com/about-me to just about. You don't have to do a redirect. We will do the redirect for you. This is crazy. It's amazing. Anyway, okay. Someone asked, where did I put it? Okay. We can't really answer this question, but I wanted to bring it up because you'll see why. What apps do you recommend for SEO and keyword research? SEMrush, yada, 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 yada. That's my new favorite saying because of Barry. We can't tell you like which one is best because there is no such thing as like the best SEO tool, but we can tell you which ones remind you which ones are already inside of Wix. And someone asked before, oh, that's like, so expensive, each one of these tools. You have free usage of SEO Rankings, SEMrush, and Wincher right inside of the Wix platform, Wix Studio platform itself. And there's an SEO ranking app for competitor research also, in addition to the keyword research that you have inside of the actual platform itself, which also it's like a freemium model with free, so you have like free usage there also.
And also you'll get information in Google Search Console. Google Search Console is also a great place to get information on keywords that you are showing for. So you can go to Google Search Console, you can filter by impressions, and you can see the keywords that your site is showing for. Maybe you're not yet getting clicks for them, but you can see what you're showing for. And then you can think, oh, maybe I could get some clicks for that if I made some dedicated content for it, or if I optimized my existing content. So that's a great free source of keyword research. We also have an article on the Wix Studio SEO Hub, which talks about Google Trends, which is also a great source for keyword research, and that's completely free and provided by Google. We also have an article on the Wix Studio SEO Hub, which talks about how you can get keywords from TikTok. And they've got some great keyword research tools that are available, and let you know about trending topics and trending ideas, and can help you with things like that. And then I even have an article and a resource on how you can get keywords from your customers. So if you have people that are asking questions, if you hold an event, for instance, like a webinar, and you get lots of similar questions, then that might be a good idea for you to write an article. We've done lots of these webinars, and we get lots of questions, which is why we have lots of articles to answer lots of questions. And so those are great places. Also, your customers asking you, your sales team asking you, things like that. So there's lots of great places for you to get keyword research for free.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like two things on that. One is also the SERP, going to Google and seeing, like, for example, the people also ask box, which, by the way, there happens to be a tool that's also freemium called People Also Ask. So check that out. And also going back to the Search Console thing, Einat, pause. If I wanted to check out Search Console data, could I see that inside of Wix somewhere?
Yes, you could.
Oh,
So
where
first,
would that be?
imagine or not, it will be in the SEO home, in the SEO dashboard. We have an integration with Google Search Console, and you can see your stats from Google Search Console. You can see queries, pages, most the top changes that you had. You can identify opportunities over there. You can look in every scale of time that you want to look at. And if you really want to deep dive into searching a bit more, then under each report in the SEO dashboard, you will find like a link, and it will take you to the analytics kind of reports, also extracted from Google Search Console, and you can deep dive over there. You have filters, you can analyze by location, by device, whatever you want, everything is there.
Oh, that's amazing. By the way, there's also an integrate or an app with Microsoft Clarity, which will give you like a heat map data, which is also really cool. There's so much inside of the app market and the dashboard for you to analyze analytics and trends and so forth. So definitely, please check that out. Okay. Next question. It's like, I'm not really going to answer this. I just wanted to bring it up because I want to plug the podcast. It's the marketer's going to market again. How much is SEO going to change in 2025? Will it remain the same? The answer is no. SEO is always changing. There's been a lot of change in the industry this year. A ton of it. We are going to cover it on the SERPs Up podcast. I believe that episode will come out towards the middle of January, so look for it. It's like hard to answer on one foot, but there's been a lot. I don't have the words for it. Next question. Just gonna move on from that. And this ties into the SEO assistant, which is why I'm bringing it up. Is it true that you should only use one H1 on a web page? How many subheadings can you use, i.e. H2, H3, etc.?
I always think that H1s should be like Beyonce. There's only one. Like, why you don't need two H1s. If you have two H1s, don't panic. Like, it might not be the end of the world. Don't panic. It might be okay. But ideally, there should just be one, and it should be the star of the show. And I can see you nodding as well. But basically, like, you don't want to have like 6 H1s on your page. Sometimes designers will add something on the top that's like, sometimes people set the image as an H1. They shouldn't do that. But if somebody has done that, don't panic. Google can skip it and get to the correct H1, but you shouldn't have like H1 down your page. You should have one, and it should basically it should be the TLDR for your page. And I think that should be important. We also have an article on heading tags and things like that. And I don't know if you want to jump in on that.
No, I think that's exactly that. It's recommended to have one. H1 should be the focus of your page, and regarding H2 and H3, there's no limit. It really depends on your content. How many content do you have? How many subheaders do you want to put?
Yep. I mean, again, and it's in the SEO assistant. You can see like your focus keyword in your H1 and in your heading. So use that. Use that as let that be your guide. Let the assistant be your guide. Okay. Next question. This is such a hard question to answer, but we're going to try. Okay. Once you get your SEO set up, how often do you need to keep it updated? I know things change all the time. It seems like a full-time job. Who wants to answer that one?
I would say, and I'll throw it to Paz in a second as well, because we haven't heard from Paz in a while. But I would say that this depends on the kind of website that you have. If you have a website where the service or the products that you offer change all the time, then you probably need to change your content really regularly as well to keep it updated. And that's good for your customers, and that will correspond to being good for your SEO. So that's worth thinking about. If you have a business that's fairly static, let's say, or you have a website that's about something that's fairly static, like let's say you have a website that is about that's I don't know, a brochure site about a historical monument, right? So like let's say you have a website that's about the Eiffel Tower and the history of the Eiffel Tower, then it's not going to change that often until there's like maybe a major event, then probably maybe you should update your blog or information like that. But essentially, if you upload the content about the Eiffel Tower and you add the information on there, you probably need to just keep it, check it every now and then. How as busy as however you are. However, if you're selling Eiffel Tower merchandise and you're in a competitive vertical and there's lots of people selling Eiffel Tower merchandise, then you will probably need to update that information very, very regularly. So it will depend on your kind of business. Paz, I don't know if you want to add any on that.
Yeah, like Crystal said, once you've added a new product, new post, make sure it's optimized and you optimize all the title. Also, once you feel like you finished, go into the SEO setting, go over the page type, see that all set up with the focus keyword, title, description, see that the whole site, the basic static site that you have is fully customized. And once you've added a new product, new post, then make sure you also optimize it.
Fantastic advice.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I'll say like one thing, like, I mean, you can use the RankX app inside of the app market to do this. You can track your rank. You can actually track your rank and even on Amazon and YouTube in there. Don't get too crazy with it. Rank kind of fluctuates. It doesn't stay the same all the time. So it's kind of like take a wider bird's eye view with it. Be cautious about making changes just to try to like match up. If you see all rankings go down one day, and don't make a change right away. Let things play out and see how it goes like long term. Look at trends. Look at trends. So if you're looking to make updates to your SEO, quote unquote, look at trends and see where things are going from that point of view. Okay. Next question. Okay. How do this just goes right into product. So I'm going to throw it right to Einat and Paz. How to best set up SEO for the launch of a new website?
Wow. I'll start, and if you have something to add, just go in. But if you have a new website, you've created it, you have the most amazing product that we have, which is the SEO setup checklist, which is take you step by step in the basic site to see that all the pages is configured as it should be. So this is like the first step once you created a new site. I passed the to Einat. This is like the first step. Then we need to go to each page, to each post, to each product to see it optimized to the SEO settings. You have also the panels within the editor that you can see and use. But I think like the setup checklist is a solid start for a brand new site.
And I think one of the important things in the setup checklist is the connect to Google over there. So once you build your site, you set it up, then connect it to Google, so Google will start knowing your site and start indexing it slowly.
Yeah, I mean, if you connect through the Search Console connection inside of the Wix or Wix Studio dashboard, so your homepage, assuming you went through the SEO setup checklist, gets basically instantly indexed, which is amazing because you're bringing Google to your website. Who knows what other links they'll see while they're already there. By the way, it's like a quick answer. Someone asked, you say there's a heat map on the website? Yes, the Microsoft is like a hidden like gem. Microsoft Clarity, which is a Microsoft like Bing's like analytics suite, offers a free heat map to see how users are, what are they clicking on, what are they interacting with, how are they experiencing your website. And there's an app inside of Wix Studio or the Wix app market where you can connect to Microsoft Clarity. Highly recommended. It's super cool. So
Yeah,
yes, there is a heat map.
we've got 2 articles on it. We've got one that talks entirely about the Microsoft Clarity app and how you can use that. There's also I also talk a little bit about some of the uses for it in understanding the value of user engagement in the bounce rate article on the Wix SEO Wix Studio Learning Hub. So yeah, lots of content there. And I see people were commenting that it's great. We do this for you. So we're glad that you appreciate it, and that from the products and the comms and all of that. And thank you for doing cool stuff on Wix and Wix Studio.
Do we have time for one more question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, someone said in the comments like actual clarity. Yeah, it's actual clarity for Microsoft Clarity. Like that. Where should new businesses focus their SEO efforts? And that's a hard question. But if you're a new business, if you're a local business, I want to make sure that you realize that you need to set up your Google Business profile, which you can do right inside of Wix and Wix Studio. So if you ever Google a business and Bob's Pizza, New York City, and there's a little panel that shows up, that's like your like Google page for your business on Google. And it's really, really important you set that up because it impacts how you're able to rank in what's called the local pack. So if you Google like pizza, New York City, and there's like those like 3 listings that are like different or offset from the actual organic results, what you do in that Google business profile can greatly impact your ability to show up when someone Googles your business vertical. So if you sell pizza and the location, so pizza, New York City. So that's like a great place to start if you're a local business.
Absolutely. I think also it's worth connecting all of your digital profiles. So if you're starting a business, and you're a smaller business, for instance, it's worth making sure that your Facebook profile, your Instagram profile, your TikTok, all of that all have links back to your website, and that your website has information about all of those on it. So we have in the local business information, you can add in that information. You can also add in stuff about your, you can also add in information about your socials on your Wix Studio website, using lots of, little add-ons and things. And that's really important for helping people to understand your digital footprint and helping Google to understand that you are all of those, that all of those profiles are the same profile. We also have lots of tools that help you to distribute your content. So if you write a blog on your website, don't just set it and forget it. Don't just think, I've written the blog, I hit publish, that's it. Because it can help with your indexing. If you share it on your social media, if you share it on your LinkedIn, if you put it in your newsletter, if you distribute it a little bit, that can be really, really helpful for your indexing. It can be helpful for making sure that your customers can find you. And it helps you to build up your digital footprint. A lot of those big websites that we think about, like, if you think about like New York Times or BuzzFeed or whichever, they've been around a long time. They've got a lot of content on their website, but they also have a lot of links around in different places. And so you want to start building that up yourself. You want to start building up a good amount of content and a good amount of links.
Amazing. And I think with that, we're out of time. That went by quickly.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone for sharing your questions and your insights. And thank you so much, Einat and Paz, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, great job. Really appreciate all the new features and excited for next year.
Definitely.
Bye, everyone.